Most people quit 5 minutes before the miracle, 5 minutes before the breakthrough, 5 minutes before cashing in on everything they've been building. And that is the real cost of procrastination, not the task that's left undone, but the potential that's left on the table. High performers don't win because they never slow down. They win because when the average mind says stop, they whisper 5 more, 5 more calls, 5 more minutes, 5 more chances to prove they're still in control. I'm Chris Hunsaker, and this is the Dealership War Room. Leadership fire, 7 minutes, built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. And I hope that this week you were able to follow along the emails and you now understand why elite performers and top dealership groups are talking about the Velocity Mastermind as the ultimate force multiplier in automotive retail. So today, let's dive in to how you could start using the 5 more principle to absolutely execute at an elite level in your store. I call this my personal secret weapon, just 5 more. Whenever motivation is low or fatigue whispers, that's good enough. Say to yourself, just 5 more. Why it works because it lowers resistance. Because 5 minutes is small enough to feel safe, but big enough to rebuild momentum. And motion is always stronger than emotion. This is literally how I wrote my book. There were so many times after coaching all day and traveling, I just didn't have the motivation to write. And I was tired and I wanted to just watch TV. And I would make myself just 5 minutes. But once I started writing for 5 minutes, that sometimes turns into an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. One time it turned into an 8-hour marathon where I got 3 chapters done almost in one setting. That's the power of just 5 more minutes. But to make it stick, you can't leave it as a slogan. You need to turn it into a system that trains your endurance. And I call this the 5 more framework. Level 1 in the system is what I call a micro move. Think 2 minutes. When resistance hits, buy movement, buy motion with a 2-minute quick start. Write 2 sentences, make 1 phone call, review 1 RO. Because you're not chasing perfection, you're building momentum. And momentum is always stronger than motivation. Level 2 in the system is mini wins, 5 actions. Once you have momentum, stack 5 wins as fast as possible. 5 follow-ups, 5 thank you texts, 5 walkarounds. Because each action, you get a little microdose of dopamine, which is the brain's keep going chemical. And what you're actually doing is rewiring your brain to associate progress with pleasure instead of with fatigue. Level 3, I call the micro stretch. This is the big dog. It's 15 minutes. And when the wall feels heavy and when you're up against it, you set a timer for 15 minutes of pure focus. No phone, no chatter, just deep work. And after the buzzer goes off, the timer sets, stop, get up, breathe, and log the win. You just trained your brain that exhaustion is a suggestion, not a command. Every time you climb these 3 levels, you expand capacity. And capacity is leadership currency. Consistency creates predictability, and predictability builds trust. Your team doesn't need a louder boss. They need a steadier one. And when you become the kind of person who always does 5 more, then you become the most dependable person in the room. And dependability is power. And here's the next evolution. Once you've got your 5 more down, make it cultural. Start 5 more Friday. Get everybody together and have everyone call their shot. The end of the week, pull everyone together. Have them call their shot. 5 more follow-up calls, 5 more thank you texts. I'm going to spend 5 more minutes on that RO. Whatever it is. And then a week later, debrief the win. Small pushes create a shared pride. And that's how you turn velocity into culture. Before you sit down for the week, please text the word procrastination to the number you see on the screen and get our free execution GPT. It's a plug and play step-by-step guide to help you launch your own 5 more Friday with your team right now, starting today. Now, here's your execution bridge. Let's turn insight into action. Pick one area of your life where you're fading. It could be your pipeline. It could be your people. It even could be your personal life. Now, I want you to choose which level. Are you going to look for a micro move, a mini win, or a macro stretch? Then set the timer, do it, and log it. And this may be most important. Now, teach it to somebody else. So you start to lock this in, who you are and how you operate. Because when your team sees you as someone who doesn't quit, someone who can't be broken, when everybody else is starting to fade, you're the one that stays strong, then they're going to follow your lead. And that is how you turn velocity into identity. 5 more isn't about exhaustion. It's about expansion. It's that quiet promise that you make to yourself as an elite operator that when everybody else starts to slow down, you're going to lean in. It's how you outlast markets, moods, and mediocrity. Do your 5 more, teach your 5 more, and then live your 5 more. Go out today, create some leadership fire, and I'll see you Monday in the Dealership War Room.